The power elite in the media. The accurate description of today's society-level power structures is that there is a large, unconnected category of powerful people, each exerting their own wills upon others, either against or in cooperation with other powerful people. C. Wright Mills. He recognized that wealth and power is unevenly distributed in society and that there is the relatively wealthy privileged few who controls the power. So C. Wright Mills believed that the people who are privileged to be wealthy are those who control the power in our society. Let's proceed with pluralism. Other arguments that is contrary with Mill's power elite claims that power is diffused among many diverse interest groups and that in fact not all wealthy elite people unite on the same side of most issues. So pluralism are the arguments that are contrary with Mill's claims about the power elite. So in the pluralism, they believed that not all people who are privileged to be wealthy mostly controls the media. So there are still other wealthy elite who uses their power in the proper manner. Now let's talk about the society members in our society. So top 10% of society's members are the wealthy elite and own the control of corporate, including the media corporations, military positions, and political offices. And the next 20% are also relatively wealthy, so they are considered as the famous members in our society and are connected to the power elite. So this class runs the government, political scene, and interest groups. And we are among the 70% of the common people who compromises the masses. And most of us enjoy politics, media, and other newsworthy topics, but rarely understand the reality of their day-to-day functioning and influences in our lives. False consciousness, which is when members of groups which are relatively powerless in society accept beliefs that work against their self-interest. So let's go back to C. Wright Mills. He also described what false consciousness is. So typically, our ignorance is played upon and erroneous information is provided in a calculated manner by the power elite for further gain of their goals. Totalitarian government. It is a political system where a small power elite controls virtually every aspect of the personal and larger social levels of society. So, in order to understand a great deal about the power of media, we need to study societies outside of United States. So, here comes the totalitarian government. So, some examples of them include the Nazi, Germany, North Korea, Russia in Stalin's era, and a few Eastern European countries that were once part of the former Soviet Union. In these systems, the media was strictly controlled and some system failed once media control was lost. Media editorial strategies. The media has editorial strategies which easily coincide with the goals of the power elite. Framing involves placing the news story into a pre-existing frame of reference for the public so that they can understand as a journalist would have it understood. Formatting is the design and construction of the news story. Sequencing is ordering news stories in such a way as to present a thematic message. And agenda setting is the process of selecting and screening topic which will be presented to the general public. The coffee filter, a power elite metaphor. It shows how the elite form a type of filter that shapes the flow of political and legal outcomes in the form of laws, treaties, and legal precedents. It also has been broken into two semi-oppositional schools of thought, often referred to as the left and right. Although not formally unified into one centralized political social movement, the left and right shakers and movers each influence this filtering process for their own interests and goals. To give you something to visualize on what does the coffee filter idea looks like, so here is an illustration of it. So you can see how it is shaped like a literal coffee filter, thus having its name called as the coffee filter, which is a metaphor of the power elite. Let's proceed with the left and right spectrum of the coffee filter metaphor. On the left side of the spectrum, feminism, sexual politics, that includes the same sex, transgendered and bisexual issues, antinatalism, environmental protection, and general secularism share many overlapping values that prove to be mutually beneficial if mutual support is given. And on the right hand side of the cultural continuum, lobbying for a continuation of tax breaks for parents and marriage would serve all interest groups in multiple ways. So basically, what both the left and right have understood and utilized for decades is they use their elite contacts to accomplish their goal driven political and legal changes. The media will continue to play a central role in this and other heated political issues. So that's all for my topic. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.